The time right now, we want to get back to our election coverage this morning, because if you went to bed early, you missed some history that was made. Virginia flipped every statewide office and broke more than one glass ceiling along the way. Simone DeAlba joins us now from Richmond to break down the three big races for us. Simone, it was quite a night, historic on many different levels. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Wisdom. I got to tell you, we are live here in Richmond. You know, last night I was at the Convention Center at Abigail Spanberger headquarters as she found out that she would become the 75th governor of the Commonwealth, also Virginia's first female governor. And just the energy in the room was incredible. Watching history being made in real time. There were families there who had brought their kids to celebrate. It was a who's who of Virginia politicians. This was the night to be at across the Commonwealth. And I wanted just to take you into some of the numbers that we are currently seeing. Spanberger with a decisive victory, and these are just the numbers that we have so far. 58% to Sears' 42%. She had been leading in the polls initially. We saw about 10-11%, give or take, in early voting, and that really held. Voters turned out on Election Day as well to seal that win for Abigail Spanberger. But again, the energy was just electric at the Commonwealth. She gave her victory speech, and she talked about voters choosing pragmatism over chaos. Take a listen.
We sent a message to the whole world that in 2025, Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship. We chose our Commonwealth over chaos. You all chose leadership that will focus relentlessly on what matters most: lowering costs, keeping our communities safe, and strengthening our economy for every Virginian.
Spanberger defeating her opponent, Republican Winsome Earle-Sears. Again, the polling had really, Winsome Earle-Sears never really quite caught up to Abigail Spanberger. Spanberger had that pretty decisive lead in early polling as well, which translated on Election Day with some of the voter turnout. We did hear Winsome Earle-Sears give her concession speech, and in it, something I wanted to make note of is this shift in political discourse we're seeing. So Abigail Spanberger, when she gave her remarks, she really kind of leaned into this tone of political decency, which we've seen such a departure from in recent political rhetoric. But also, Winsome Earle-Sears leaned into that as well. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I asked her to please consider all of us Virginians, that she will represent all of us and not just some of us. And I wished her success. If she is successful, Virginia will be successful. That's what I wish for her. And I asked her to support policies that will unite us. And that if I can ever be of help doing that, I'm here. I'm ready to volunteer.
Arguably the surprise of the night was the Attorney General race. Jay Jones taking the win over Republican incumbent Jason Miyares. In the early polling, this was really uncertain, especially when his texting scandal broke, Jay Jones's texting scandal. That shook up the entire political landscape, not only of Virginia, but nationally as well. It became this conversation of, political rhetoric. What is allowed? What will we tolerate, not only as voters, but from our politicians? I did want to mention, Miyares very much was a staunch Trump supporter, and so this very well could have been a referendum on Donald Trump more than it was an endorsement of Jay Jones as a politician. But take a listen to Jay Jones, because he spoke at Spanberger headquarters.
Donald Trump, MAGA, and those corporate special interests believe that Virginia's government should be beholden to them. But tonight we sent a loud message to them and to every single person across this country: Virginia belongs to the people. Together we stand firm against
Democrat Ghazala Hashmi taking the win as lieutenant governor. So again, top of the ticket, top three races, we are seeing this Democratic sweep in Virginia. Of course, the entire House of Delegates, all 100 seats were up for grabs, but we are seeing this return to the Democrats having a governing trifecta with the governor's seat. They've got the House. They also now have the Attorney General and the Lieutenant Governor's seat. So Wisdom, a decisive win for Democrats on this election night. We're going to keep tracking the numbers as they come in. Live in Richmond this morning. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Simone DeAlba reporting. Jay Jones also making history as the first black person to hold that position in Virginia. Thank you, Simone.